tonight you are here for a really special evening. If you take a look behind me, this happens to be the largest video wall, and on it, and right behind it, we have our featured guest, our special guest, Mr. Madeon. Go ahead and give your hand, put your hands together. This gentleman, for those of you that are looking and wondering, he has worked with Lady Gaga, he has worked with Bastille. This gentleman has worked with Coldplay, played Coachella. He coming up playing Coachella again this year. We are so excited. Tonight, he's going to have an opportunity to really show you guys some of his process of making music on the go. So without any further ado, guys, put your hands together one more time for Mr. Madeon.
All right, this is working. Damn, okay, thank you for showing up. That's crazy. So this was pitched to me as I was just gonna be like in a store and I was gonna make some music on a phone, and I didn't expect there to be a crowd, so thank you for showing up. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to communicate here is that when you have an idea and you want to be creative, you should just find whatever you have and execute on that and make it and do it. It's so easy to get convinced that that you need a crazy studio, crazy gear, crazy experience to make something that you're proud of and to have fun making things, and that's not true. You should just find whatever tool is available to you and just make stuff, right? And so you all have a phone, and so you can all make really cool music if you so desire, or any other kind of cool art. So so hopefully I'm gonna encourage you to take that home and make stuff. So yeah, so when I'm traveling on tour, I want to make music. I'm not home, and so I use iPhone apps and I just make stuff there. And sometimes they turn into songs that I'm really proud of. I made a song called Dream 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 that I started on this app that I'm going to show you, and then I completed it a little bit later, and I'm so glad that I could capture that original burst of inspiration. Without telling myself I needed a full setup. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to produce kind of from scratch an idea of like an audio-visual little combination. So a little bit of music, very simple, some cool video, kind of in the good faith art direction. We're gonna combine it together and make like 15 seconds of audio-visual art, and publishable, like finished things. Right now I have no idea what it's gonna be. I didn't prepare anything, so we're just gonna make stuff, and then it's gonna be a thing that exists, right? And then after that, I'm gonna kind of back. So I'm gonna go fairly fast, and then at the end of it, I'm gonna go back to the beginning and show you in more detail so that you can do that yourself too if you so desire, because the app is free. So good times. All right, let's start by making some audio, and I'm gonna pull up my favorites. iPhone music app. So that one's called, can we see me? Yay! Okay, sorry for the glare. We're gonna start from scratch. This app is really nice because it's sequencer based solely, so it's not about performance. So if you're not good at playing things and you don't want to drum pad, if you don't feel like you have a good rhythm, you can still make stuff.
Then what's the app called?
The app is called Oxy. That's a great question, right? See, thank you. Let me show you what it like. Oxy, A-U-X-Y. All right. Very good. So you have two categories of sound that you can play with, either drums or melody. I love to start with a melody or with some chords. I'm going to pick maybe a piano. And then what I would do is start by voicing a single chord. I like major chords. I'll probably start something like, and all of those bars represent notes. Let's press play, see if those two sound good together. All right, that's it. It's all. Nice, very hopeful. Alright, it's good first chord. Let's write more chords, make it a little bit more interesting. We'll duplicate that. Let's see. Let's keep it hopeful. Let's do an ascending progression, something that goes like. Okay, let's add a little bit more intrigue in the voice there. Part of making beautiful music is removing the ugly notes, so you hear a lot of not quite on the grade. Let's make it a little bit more rhythmical. Right. Let's see how we feel about that. That third chord is kind of ugly, let's be honest. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. So like maybe do a little bit of flourish there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, that's better. It's a little fast. Me. I'm in the mid-tempo territory, so I'm going to go to the settings and slow down the tempo. And maybe make the key a little bit lower, so it's a little bit darker. Let's see that. A little bit faster like that. I'm into that. Let's add some drones, give it a little bit of an airy quality. So, maybe a choir. Are we feeling more ooh or ah? Okay, I hear both with equal fervor. So I'm gonna be a tiebreaker and go with ooh. Alright, see how that sounds. Let's drown it in reverb, make it really lush. Alright, let's it's a little too simple. Let's duplicate it, make it a little bit longer. Let's add a little bit more intrigue, a little bit of pitch automation. Let's see what we can do there. Okay, I'll keep that for now. I may change my mind. Alright, this is beautiful, but not very danceable. So we're probably gonna wanna add some drums. That's a great suggestion. Thank you. Alright, let's do that. I'm gonna pick something probably at random, let's see. I don't think that's what I had in mind, okay. Let's do empty, let's start from scratch. I don't trust any of these suggestions. I think I'm gonna follow my my heart on that one. Okay, so let's pick a kick, right? Let's see. Something gloomy and dark like that. Let's see how that feels. Very groovy. Right, more of a clap, more of a snare. Do we have some musicians here? You know what a clap and snare are? Okay. So, clap or snare? Okay, I hear clap more. Okay. Sorry. Right. Let's do that one, but let's make it a little bit moodier. Let's do a lot of reverb pitch. Yeah. Nice. Okay. No, let's make it like dramatic. Like. Let's make it a little more fun. Let's see. Vocal chop. Ooh, I didn't know that existed.
Get up.
That's you know, sometimes something is seductive on paper and it doesn't sound that good. That's just what it is. No, let's go safe. Let's pick a hi-hat. Yeah. Alright, this will do. Let's do it. Very basic pattern. Here's another layer of another type of percussion. Any suggestion? Rim shot, yeah, okay. I'm into it. Okay. Let's find that. That's come on. Maybe they categorize rim shots in stance instead of the sun. It's not much of a rim shot, is it? That's better. Kind of dreamy vibe that we like. Okay, let's do that. Let's try to find where it should land. Maybe that's it. Okay. A little more hi-hat interest. So a little open hat for the connoisseurs. Something more live. Let's find it. Yeah, that will pitch it down. That rim shot isn't that good. Let's fix it. Sorry, rim shot 25. You've had your chance. We give you your shot, but let's see. So, fun fact: a lot of producing is sitting down and just scrolling through thousands and thousands of these sounds. But then you find the one, and it's like, it's love. Yeah, let's go full on snare. Come on, we're grown-ups. We can handle this now. Push it down, a little bit of a height. Okay, I can live with that. Alright, let's add some twinkle. Like, let's make it a little bit like shiny. That's what I hear. Let's see what we got. Pluck and mallet. Ooh, sweeper is more like the whoosh. Yeah. I feel like it's more of an EDM move, and I think this is more of a sunset ballad atmosphere. So maybe for the next one. Coconut is fun, or tiny. Yeah. That one? Okay. Alright, let's come up with a riff. So let's write something a little bit faster, because this is a little too slow. Let's do... I'm into that. How much time do I have? Because yeah, all right. This will do. It's just an idea, you know. Normally, it's at that point that I would start like starting to come up with lyrics, write some vocal melodies, structure it into a song, and give it some life. But for now, this will do. We're gonna want to illustrate it. When I make music, I always think about visuals, and so pretty early in the process, I try to find some visual accompaniments or visual references. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna export this. And let it be. Make it a little bit longer, perhaps, just so that. Let's make it 8 bars. Yep. We need a name though. We need a great name. All right. If you have a great name in mind for this song, please raise your hand. Apple a Day, love it.
Apple a Day.
Apple a Day, no, that's a good name. Okay, let's do that. So... that looks good visually. So... uncompressed, high quality. We don't mess around. Loaded in iMovie. Alright, so we're in iMovie, but we don't have visuals, so we're gonna make some visuals really quick. There's this app that I use a lot, especially when I'm doing like stories and social media stuff and I can't like load up After Effects. It's called iPerspective and it does stuff like that, which is very on brand. So let's start from scratch, let's do something. So I have a few little videos there from my travels. Let's pick one. Let's do maybe this one. I'm being complimented. For my ability to stay on schedule, which is punctuality is better than talent. Okay, this is not. Let's pick a good one. Let's do. Is this one gonna be good? It's a little noisy. It's fine. Ooh, maybe nice. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. This is nice, but it's not quite psychedelic enough for my taste. It's lacking color, so we're gonna choose that one, and then we're gonna try to make it fun. So compressing video. Ooh, that's cool. All right, yeah. So that setting is actually completely randomized. So I think we just got lucky. It's a pretty good start, but let's see if we can make it a bit more. That's kind of ugly. So see, the most important thing about creating is to be enthusiastic about your own stuff, but also, you know, not chase, you know, run down a path that doesn't have much potential. This one is pretty good, but it's a little dark for me, so let's saturate it. Yeah. If you've seen my stuff, you know that I'm all about saturated colors. Ooh. I'm more of an RGB guy. Okay. Going to the a little bit. Okay. You know what? I think we can do better. Let's do. So fun, I could get lost in there for it. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I'm into that. Okay. Yeah, this gives it that nighttime vibe. Okay, I'm into it. And then we're gonna want to export that. Go back to iMovie, draw that in. Yeah. And now we have a fully produced music video. So let's check it out. Yeah, I think that's it, right? I'm just gonna export that and we're gonna check it out. HD, what's going on? So there you go, we have like some music, some video, in like 15 minutes. There was nothing before, now there's this thing. So let's see what it is. Let's check it out. It's a vibe, I'm into it. And it's 10-second long, which is perfect for like an Instagram story. So there you go. You have, within 15 minutes, you go from nothing to a piece of media that's fun and that you can publish immediately. And I find that amazing. It's so cool. And then you can, if you can make more and make an infinite amount of 10-second loops, or you can decide to spend a little bit more than 15 minutes and try to make something truly polished. But yeah, to my point, if you've never created something, you're missing out. It's the most fun thing in the world. The pride of having created something is so fulfilling, and it makes you engage with the art around you in a completely different way. Once you've created some music, any music, you listen to music differently. It suddenly, it reminds you that everything that you admire, that moves you, you could have made, you know? And it's just easier, I think, to feel like you belong in the world if you feel like you could have made it. Does that make sense? So if you don't create anything, you have it fun. You should give it a go. You should find something. It doesn't have to be music, but you should like find an app, find a thing, and just create stuff. And even if it's bad, it's gonna get good, and you're gonna get a lot more joy than you can imagine. So I highly recommend creating stuff. If you already create stuff, but you find yourself making excuses to not make stuff sometimes, maybe you feel like, oh, I don't have the right gear, I don't have the right time, and like, no, if you have a phone in 15 minutes, you can make something. Do that, it's great. It's really fulfilling. So yeah, that's my point, right? I'm saying that because sometimes I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm on tour, I can't create, I need to wait to get home. No, you don't have to wait. If you have an idea, you can make it right now. If you have the desire to create, you should always respect and embrace that desire. So yeah, make stuff and
guys, put your hands together for Well wait, this is now you guys, this is now your opportunity to start to create something. So while you guys were sitting here waiting, how many of you downloaded the Oxy app? Just by a show of hands, how many? Awesome. So it looks like most of you have downloaded this app. Now, what we're really gonna do is we're gonna give these guys an opportunity to actually start to create something. And if you guys create something today that you feel like is really, really worth sharing, we're gonna collect a best of the bunch here, and we're actually gonna share them up on the wall. So as long as it was something you created today, maybe using this app, this is a great opportunity to create something new.
Yeah, okay, so if you have never made music before and you may be a little intimidated by this particular app, I'm gonna run you through the most basic thing you can do, and we're gonna do that together. So, open up Oxy if you have it, click on New Project, see this little line that says Instrument, click on that, pick Drums, it's always a good start, and literally pick one at random. Don't even listen to it, just go for it. Say it down, that's it, trust it. Alright. Now you notice this little plus underneath the name of the drum kit, click on that. You're gonna get this like Excel-like matrix. And if you just kind of randomly tap around and then press the play button, I mean that technically qualifies as music. Now, if you've never made music before and you want a secret trick to making drum beats that sound compelling, here's the way to do it. Notice those first two, so each column is a sound, right? The first column, as you can see, is called kick. And the secret is that you probably want to have the kick start right there on the top left. The start of the beat, you mark the start. And then you see this little one called snare. You're probably gonna wanna wait and place them right there. Those are called the 2 and 4. if you count down the squares, you're gonna want to count 5 down and then 13 down. And then that's gonna be a starting point. Listen to that. How does that sound? Yeah, that's more like music. From there, just keep that basic in and add more stuff to your liking, right? Okay, once you have that basis, that kick and snare in place, then you're pretty safe. Everything that you add is probably gonna make some sort of musical sense. So let's add some more stuff at random, see how that sounds? Alright, that's a drum loop, that's something there. So, if you've never made music before, and you want to start somewhere, do that. That's the kind of cheat sheet. It's like a kick on the 1, snare on the 2 and 4. That grid, that layout, that's your starting point. And then add more stuff, and if you think it sounds cool, show us and we'll check it out.
Guys, you feel kind of pumped up for this? Everybody, I see most of you have your headphones out. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give everybody here, we're gonna give you guys maybe about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, and we'll check back in. And we're gonna come around, we're actually gonna come around and check in, see how everybody's doing.
And to be clear, if
yes.
you're especially proficient and you actually make a full-blown song or like add more instruments to it, you feel free to do that too.
That's awesome.
If you do the beat in 30 seconds and you feel like you want to spend that time doing more, then...
So really the focus today is just creating the music, right? Because I know you had some great visuals and you're using iMovie, but today is really an opportunity to focus on the music that you create here today.
Yeah.
So, does that sound pretty good? All right, everybody, so what we're gonna do is this. How many of you brought your own headphones here with you? Brought your own headphones? Okay, very, very good. So you guys can continue to work. We're gonna come around and we're gonna check in on you guys. If anybody needs anything at all, my name is Michael, so I'm gonna be here helping out. Guys, go ahead and raise your hand. Did you see these guys here in the blue? They're here hanging out, helping out. They're gonna come around, check in on you guys. And for those of you that are feeling really good about what you created, just let us know, and then we're gonna start to collect the best of what you've got. Sound pretty good?
Love it.
All right, guys. Yeah, one question. Great. If you don't have headphones, partner with us. We'll see if maybe there's something we could do to maybe let you borrow some.
Or you know, you can get it close to your ear.
Yeah, just hold it real close.
No,
partner, we're gonna come around. So if anybody needs to borrow some for maybe the next 20 minutes or so, I think we might have some extra ones that you can borrow. So great question. So we'll come around, but for those of you that brought your own devices, go ahead and get started. We're gonna come around and check on you guys individually. We're gonna pull up a little bit of music, just to give you a little, not to overrun what you guys are doing, just give you a little mood music. Very good. So now, Madeon, are you gonna take a break? Are you gonna take a quick break?
I'm gonna grab some water somewhere, so I'll be back.
Grab some water, he'll be coming back.
Yeah,
so you go ahead and take a break. You did a lot in like 15 minutes, that was crazy. We're gonna come around, we're gonna answer some questions, so if you got your hands, I'm gonna come right by. Again, my name is Michael. Go ahead and get started, guys. We'll see you again in about 20 minutes. Put your hands together one more time for Madeon.
I'll be back. Check. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you made some music? Yeah. Cool. Awesome. I think so. No. Yeah. I'm excited to check it out. Oh. Okay. So it's all of these. Oh wow. Okay. They all have really interesting names. Let's check them out. I don't have time to listen to all of them right now, so I'm gonna pick some at random. Okay. How does this work? Boys in the front. Okay. Boys in the front. Let's start with that. Let's see how that sounds. Banger! Yeah. Who made that? Who made that? The Boys in the Front, of course. That sounds like a great boy band name. We should go for that. No. So, I think all I want from you is to say, hey, we're the Boys in the Front, and this is our new single. Boys in the Front.
9-second beat. Boys in the front. Boys in the front.
Yeah. All right, sweet. All right, let's keep it going. PUG ARP thingy. So somebody used the word ARP, so probably knows a little bit about music. So let's check that out. Some ARP going on. That was fun. Yeah. Listen, that was great. That sounded kind of and cool thing is I have all the project files, so I can steal all those ideas. This was all an evil ploy for my next album. You've been bamboozled. Okay. But let's try it. Like what's fun is that I can like kind of mess around, slow it down, change the swing. Now we're getting into 24/7 lo-fi chill bits to study to territory. So I'm getting some of that energy. Okay, Sad Apple. No. Okay,
Hold on,
sorry.
who created that last beat, by the way?
Yeah.
That was you guys? You guys have a group name there? Well done, you guys. That was awesome.
That was
I'll give you a shout out.
Okay, Sad Apple. See? If somebody else hadn't written that riff first, you could have been the one to come up with it. Like, that could have been an option. Alas, it has been written. So you don't get to claim writing credit. But who made it?
We're Sad Apple. There you go.
Sad Apple.
Awesome.
Okay. Marry Me, Hugo. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to open that. Self-indulgence. Somebody knows how to pander. This is giving me James Blake vibes. Sick. Awesome. Like the very low sub like that sound is cool. I want to solo it. The remote video sounds like that thing. It's like, that's the very kind of floomy. Who made that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Wait, you said Marry Me Hugo. Are you there with your boyfriend? Oh, okay. I don't know.
Home
Maybe-
break. Alright, let's keep going. Madeon Day. Alright. Sad Gorilla, good one. Alright, Madeon Day, let's try that one. I love that, that's great. I was listening to the Japanese house on the way there, and that kind of like that's kind of that vibe. It's awesome. Who made that?
There you go. Well done.
Really, really cool. I like that sound right there, the rain. It's a great sound. Let's keep it going. I want to listen to all of them, kind of, but I'm gonna make it. Okay, let's do that. Alright, I need to pick one. So it's all gonna be about the title, so I'm absolutely gonna judge it by the cover. Sassy Zebra is kind of irresistible. No. It's gone now, sorry. How does this work? Did we play that already? Ooh! Wait, okay, let's not give too much credit. That has to be a demo that I accidentally opened. Did somebody make that? You made that? Oh, that's dope!
Yeah.
Damn! Okay, so sorry for doubting your talent. It's just that because it was like multi-scene and stuff, I'm like, those are not features that I pointed out, so yeah, okay, so then let's listen to it in full, sorry. fully structured, multi-scenes, proper song. Okay, let's do 2 more. Unmastered, unedited, already making excuses. I'm sure it's great. Who made it? Love it. I love the at the end. Awesome. Okay, I think if there's a name in there that inspires you, please yell it, because I can't decide. Austin Gellerbeat. Let's go. Awesome. That was like a new 80s weekend beat. I love it. I love that those all came out so different. That's really cool. Okay, okay, I'm gonna do an actual final one.
By the way, who was Austin Gellerby? Who did that one?
Sorry, I'm just...
There he goes, right there, right down the very top.
That was sick. Decisive Rooster. All right, this is gonna be our final one. Damn, banger! I love that hi-hat pattern, especially like on the drums, the way it goes like awesome, sick. Who made that?
Ooh, mystery person.
Mystery
Oh
person.
wait, hold on, I saw somebody stand up here. No? Wow.
Well, it was a gift maybe from above. So maybe, yeah, spontaneously appear. All right, so then if nobody can claim that one, then we need one. Okay. I am Abachin, so I'm assuming Abachin made that? Damn. That bass. Awesome final one. Who made that?
Well done.
Extremely sick. I'm so happy. Like there was 40 minutes ago there was no music, and now there's a lot of music. None of that existed 40 minutes ago. That's crazy. Awesome. Thank you for playing along and doing this. I'm so impressed and excited.
Guys, I gotta tell you, as I was going around, some of you had some questions for me, and if you still have some of them, maybe we could turn it over to Mr. Madeon and just see.
Let's do
so, any questions? Because, by the way, I was just blown away like how much content we got. So this is your opportunity. So if you guys have some questions, this gentleman, your hand went up real fast. You were here early too. I saw you at the very beginning. So I'm gonna come around. We have a few people with some microphones. So yeah, we'll throw it out to you guys.
Hi Madeon, I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
My name is Max. I want to know how you go about writing a conceptual album, because I feel like a lot of times as producers, you know, you might just be writing singles, you might be writing EPs, but to come up with a conceptual idea for a project, I know it takes a long time. visually and like sonically, like how do you go about writing a conceptual album?
I think it's like something emerges in you that's like a place, and that you want to visit. And you know how certain things remind you of a place, and they can be smell, and they can be sounds, they can be sight, but they all add up to the same feeling, they're all connected to the same feeling. So when I come up with an album idea, it's kind of like that for me. Like this, I find this place in my brain, and I explore it, and I try to define it, and then I try to find out which sounds, and which techniques, and which lyrics, which words, which visuals evoke that place for me. So like with my latest album, Good Faith, that destination appeared fairly spontaneously. I think it was just a product of the last few years of my life and the type of media I consumed and the experiences that I had gone through. And then I always try to make sure that I remember what the destination is. And whenever I create something, I ask myself, does this evoke that place for me or not? And I think that's my method anyway. Thank you for your question.
I saw somebody's hand in the back. Oh, there you go.
Hey, I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
So, when producing a record, do you have any personal rituals or traditions you do to avoid writer's block that you're willing to share?
Yeah, I think for me, the main thing is that I write music when I have the desire to, and if I notice that I don't want to write music for a while, it usually means there's something else that's wrong in my life. And so, for me, the best way of defeating writer's block is to live a life that makes you desire creation so much that it's irresistible. And so I don't think like forcing yourself to create when you don't want to, when you're not inspired, is necessarily that productive. Because then you may associate the process of making music with something frustrating. So I would be more of a fan of just trying to design a life that makes you want to create, I guess. It's fairly abstract answer, but that's what my experience has been anyway.
I got one more question back here.
Okay, so I guess in short, I was wondering, like, when you have music, like how
Hey, hi.
When you do have some music, how do you get past that feeling of hesitation of whether or not you want to put something out? And I guess more importantly, love you back when you put that out.
First half of the question. I feel like, so when I create something, your level of enthusiasm for it fluctuates, right? And there are moments of doubt and moments of overconfidence, and I try to take a snapshot of my highest point of confidence in an idea, when I loved it the most, and cherish that, and when I'm in doubt, remember that particular feeling that I had toward it, and trust that. Trust that it's likely that other people who will listen to this work for the first time are more likely to have similar feelings as I had at the start of the process rather than at the end when I heard it for 100 hours. So I think that's it. I think I try to work through it by remembering how good it felt before and trusting that memory of enthusiasm, I guess. It's so excruciating finishing things, and it's weirdly unpleasant to put them out sometimes because you're kind of burying everything that it could have been, you know? But having something out and existing is so much more valuable than any promise of what could have been. So it's always worth it. But it is an emotional process. And Love You Back, I mean, it's starting to mix it, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, I'll check it out sometime. I'm finally back in the studio. I was on tour, I couldn't do anything, so I'm good. What's that? I'm so ready, oh my god. Cool.
I think we have maybe just a couple more. We got one more over here. Maybe we'll take one more over here.
Yeah, I can do this all day, so just until they...
Yeah, no problem. I think my manager's giving me the look, like she's
Ooh,
doing...
okay, let's do two.
No, we got a couple more. We got a couple... Actually, we could hang out. This has been super fun for us, too, I gotta
Awesome.
tell you.
Oh, sorry. We'll do.
So, Good Faith was definitely the album of the year 2019 for me.
Thank you.
I don't know who else feels that way.
Thank you.
Now that you like perform Good Faith live, how was it the process different, and how does performing it feel different than Adventure?
It feels much better. I was way more confident in that show than any show I've done previously. Putting a show together is excruciating, incredibly complicated, and beautiful and fascinating. It's a whole journey, and in the past I've had a lot of, I feel like I hadn't quite figured out how I wanted to be Madeon on stage, and with Good Faith Live I had a clearer idea of what I wanted it to feel like, and I feel like I've achieved that feeling. Like the way that I feel on stage during that show matches what my selfish ambition of the emotion I wanted to feel every night is like. So yeah, it feels much more true to what I wanted it to be, I guess. It's been a joy.
That's awesome. We got one more over here. And I think
Also,
maybe,
sorry, I pointed this gentleman over there.
This
So
gen-
if we can also do that one.
all right, let's do a couple more. How about
Yeah.
that? Manager, give me a thumbs up. All right, okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Yay!
Hey Hugo.
Hey.
I'm Stanton. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. Do you
Yeah.
usually work on music first or the visuals first?
It kind of depends, kind of simultaneously. I definitely think about images, and you know, I mentioned earlier that it's important to maintain like the original enthusiasm, or and one way that I do that is that when I'm most excited about a song, I collect visual references into a folder, and so when I get less excited about a song, I watch those visuals again, and it brings me back to that place. It's kind of like sensorial association. So thinking about visual definitely goes hand in hand with music. With Good Faith especially, because the art direction and the music direction came at the exact same time, and I would kind of alternate between the two. If my ears got exhausted, I would fire up Photoshop, and if my eyes got tired, I would open up FL Studio. So they're definitely strongly connected. And I feel like usually the music that doesn't trigger any imagery when I make it is the music that I don't cherish enough to put out. So usually it's a bad sign. It's a bad omen if visuals don't come to mind.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. So we got one more gentleman. Well, he's got the Good Faith. Sweater on there. So
Yeah, we got some of these out there.
Yeah, that was a smart move there.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, I got a question. So this style of like guerrilla filmmaking and music making, is that a big part of like finding the sound and the visuals for Good Faith? And if so, can you tell us about a moment that you wouldn't have been able to capture if you weren't doing that guerrilla style?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, we decided to collect a palette. So both with the music and with the video, early on I knew what I wanted the overall vibe of Good Faith to be like, but I didn't necessarily have the specific songs or the specific concept. I just knew kind of what felt like Good Faith, and so I gathered a crew of like videographers and photographers, and we decided to go to places that we felt like, oh, maybe this is going to be the vibe. Just go there with a bunch of cameras and capture things, and then figure out what to do with it later. What I didn't expect is that the process of making the album took a lot longer than it would have, than I originally intended. And so a lot of the stuff that I shot like years before I ended up using it. And so for me, what that process brought was the introspection and nostalgia, revisiting that footage and those musical ideas 2 or 3 years later made me appreciate the personal growth and made me select very different things than I would have selected otherwise. I don't know, I'm not sure if that exactly answers it, but I guess creating the conditions of beauty and capturing it is one of my favorite ways to create art, you know, like accidental things that emerge. And so just going on a trip with friends with a bunch of cameras, hoping to find cool stuff to film or to record was a great way to create memories, and those memories became nostalgic, and that nostalgia became inspiring. So it created this kind of loop. So I would encourage, if you don't know what you want to make, but you still want to make something, follow that somehow, and something cool will emerge that makes sense. Like you don't have to have intention that's extremely specific right from the start. Thank you.
Gentleman over here with the mic, he's already.
Check. Okay.
Hey.
Hi. So I had a question regarding more towards like your DJ set.
Yep.
And versus, do you find it difficult with song selection versus what's currently popular, what's recently been released, what you've recently discovered, and what people expect as Madeon the musician versus, you know, Hugo the person?
Yeah.
And do you find that difficult? And also, another side question: has anyone found any of the pendants?
Nobody has found the pendants yet. Sorry, I just broke my own rule. I'm not supposed to acknowledge that, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what an ARJ is. That's like, yeah. And for the first question, so I'm lucky that I get to do the live shows when appropriate, you know, where I can just express the vision of the album, and then when I do DJ sets, it's like usually supplemental, and it's like a way to like do shows that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise, and so it depends. Like I was just doing a Holy Ship in the Dominican Republic, and I was doing two shows to mostly the same audience, so I knew that they didn't want me to play the exact same thing twice, so obviously that circumstance is different than maybe a market that I only get to play once every couple of years, and where I feel like, oh, I want them to hear the music I'm most proud of that I've made, because I may not be back for a while, so you know, so I think it's very, very much a case by case basis. I don't have to consider anymore what's popular as much per se. I'm lucky that usually when I play a set, like people that are familiar with what I make will show up and will kind of trust me. But indulging myself is important. I think it's I never want to strategize other people's feeling too much. You know, I feel like hopefully my enthusiasm is communicative, so always make sure to only play stuff that I'm excited about for one reason or another. And I think, yeah, that's how the best DJ comes up, you know, for sure.
Awesome.
Thank
Guys,
you.
we have one more question. Actually, I'm going to give it to this man right here, because he had his hand up for a little while, so I'm going to give it to this
And
man.
also looking dapper. That's like
Yeah,
proper.
very, very dapper.
Big fan, Madeon.
Thank you.
I was wondering how living in Los Angeles affected your creative process for writing Good Faith.
I definitely wanted to. I think I'll figure it out in a couple of years. It's still too new, but what I would say is that if I had stayed, if I was still living at my parents' house, I would have made a very different album and probably something much more familiar. And forcing myself to change everything about my existence, and even the most mundane thing, all of my habits, my surrounding, my city, changing that up and you know, becoming a young adult and independent and all those things definitely encouraged me to move forward with everything else. Like it definitely created a distinct street chapter, like before and after. Also, Los Angeles is usually pretty like summery and joyful, and so I think it helped me stay on target. You know, like let's say it's not a city that makes you want to write Christmas classics. So like, because I wanted to make an album that was quite sunny and very much a daytime album in many ways, like having that environment was very appropriate. It kind of felt like a living mood board, you know, like I would just go out and go on some trails and like see imagery and sunset that felt very, very similar to the type of photos and references that I had been collecting when I started the project before I moved. So it was nice.
Guys, I just want to say one more thing. We have a lot of artists here on a personal level. We have a lot of artists here. We're one of the only high-profile stores in all of Southern California that can feature artists like Madeon. And not just you coming over as like a producer or as a musician, but just being so eloquent and well-spoken and really sharing your passion with everybody. Guys, we want to thank you. For those of you that created something, if you wanted to share it, maybe we didn't get an opportunity to, this is an awesome time. You can actually just go on Instagram, hashtag today at Apple. You can post it. It's a really, really, really great way to share some of the content that you have.
I'll check all of it too.
So yeah, tag Madeon in there. Obviously, that'll be a great way to kind of reach out. Guys, we cannot thank you enough. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for sharing your talent. Thank you all for coming here. Put your hands together, everybody. One more time for Madeon.
Let me get
There you go. He's gonna get a picture of you guys. There you go. That is nice. And don't forget, everybody here, if you want to come back, we do these sessions every day. We do music labs all the time. Apple.com/today. We're one of the few stores in all of Southern California that can do this. So we have some great artists. This is an awesome example. You guys are awesome. Thank you again so much. Give yourselves one more round of applause. Guys,
Thank you.
I think we're all set. Yeah, any final thoughts? I think we're all pretty much ready to rock and roll, guys. Listen, I know that looks pretty. I think it's
Right, I'm thinking of all of the cool things that would like play on that if I had that at home.
maybe we'll have you back for round 2. We can get a little music next time.
Yeah.
That might be kind of cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Have a great night. Get home safely.